Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Weekly Spark. This week's episode is brought to you by travel. And considering that I got home last night at 3 a.m., I'm going to stay off the camera this week and just show you a little bit of kind of where I've been and what I was art journaling on the way. First off, let me show you my art journal kit. This is a larger than normal kit because we were driving and we were in our camper van. And so I had more room than what I would just take if I were flying or, just had a carry-on. So the first thing is this waxed linen roll. You can see the company name there, and I'll post a link in the comments. This was a gift from my husband, and it's amazing. You can see it's got expandable hooks in case it's filled fatter than it is right now. Waxed so that if you get things on it, it really is impervious to harm. And the zipper compartment down here. For this trip, I had some washi tape, pencil and eraser, eraser and sharpener, and a gold pen, because I needed that for a spread that I was doing. Usually, there's a glue stick in here, and usually a small pair of travel scissors. Now, I forgot the travel scissors this trip, which was a bit of a problem, and I went through my glue stick. I have the worst habit of just grabbing a glue stick off the table and not checking to see if it's a fresh one, so that I'm on a trip and my glue stick is dead, used up, halfway through the trip. So it's funny because it's happened so many times, it's becoming a bit of a tradition. Here I have some Accurate brand. These are permanent ink markers. So I like a permanent marker because then if I draw something, I can go into it with watercolor, or these are all water-soluble colored pencils. It's a limited palette that my friend Claire sent me from Germany. We were doing a gift exchange. Yes, I can get them in the United States, but it was a really thoughtful present because it was her kind of favorite palette. I've got a white gel pen, which is a Uniball Signo. This is an all pencil, so a Stabilo brand, but also water soluble. This is a Posca pen. It's the small tip, so it's kind of a duplicate of these, that it is permanent. Regular pencil, and I love this brush pen because then I can do things that are a bit more gestural. I can do thick and thin lines, and this is a cartridge pen. So you can see this cartridge is just about ready to need replacing. So that's kind of my basic kit there, because I can do a lot with that. Because I had more room this time, I usually do take some kind of watercolor. This is my kind of regular watercolor kit with some inexpensive brushes inside. Any hotel room is going to have a paper cup, some water. And so that, I like watercolors for the kind of slow mindfulness of that, which you don't always have on vacation, I know, but sometimes I like to make time for that. These are definitely my go-to when I have the room. These are by Faber-Castell, and these are brush tip markers, but you can see I've got a pretty wide range here. A lot of muted tones, but then I do have a few lighter things as well. And these will mark on top of things like, glossy paper if you've got found paper from a trip, maps, things like that. So these will mark over top of things, which is great. The things that the watercolor won't do. My dead glue stick. Why I didn't throw that away, I don't know. In this trip, I really did kind of splurge, and I brought got it for $1 paper dictionary that I've been tearing things out of, so you'll see those in some of my pages. And I brought a baggie of scraps of paper. Now, I do like a journal that has an envelope in the back because then I can put a few stickers or scraps of paper in that envelope in the back. But this time I just packed a little bit more. So this gives you a hint as to where I was. My husband is a runner, and he has been doing the Disney races for a few years now, all different lengths, everything from 5Ks to marathons. And so we tend to go on a trip for the run. This was my second year doing a 10K. And I did the first one last year wanting to try out this thing that is so important and so beneficial to him. And, you know, watching people cross the finish line and really having these epiphany moments where they did a thing that is so hard that they didn't think that they could do. I wanted to try that. And I'll be the first to admit that last year I just finished. I was a hot mess. I'd been sick and I hadn't trained. And I'm not a runner, but I have enjoyed the process. And this year I did train. And this year I ran the 10K and was not only having fun, but pleased with my results. A big improvement on last year. And there really is a feeling of satisfaction to do a thing which is hard. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. This is hard for me, and I do a walk-run interval, and I walked plenty, and yet I was feeling good enough to stop and take some pictures along the route. And when I finished, I ended up walking 7 more miles in the parks that day. So yeah, we were at Disney, and this race ran through Epcot. And it was really satisfying. I'm really pretty proud of this year. So the journals that I took with me, I've got 2. First off, this is our van journal. And so on the trip down, since we did drive, I was trying to take some mental snapshots because if I was driving, I obviously couldn't take a actual snapshot. I often will take a picture as a photo reference to come back and do something later. These 3 were all visual references, so I just took that snapshot in my mind and tried to recreate them later. Amazing cherry blossoms in bloom in Virginia, and I have a tendency with landscapes to really kind of simplify them and almost abstract them a little bit. Clearly, they're still landscapes, but a lot of those natural details have been simplified. There were fields of this intense yellow-green glowing plant of some kind. You never know what the billboards are going to tell you to do. And, you know, the Georgia, I think, Welcome Center has a explanation about these great carved faces on the trees that happen in, they're on a certain island. Again, I'll put that link in the notes. I haven't finished Watermelon Fire. You know, that was kind of funny because we did see an actual accident. Everybody was okay, but truck carrying watermelon caught on fire. It was out when we saw it, but it was like barbecued watermelon, and it was very surreal. So Spanish moss, once we got further south, beautiful wisteria in, you know, Virginia and whatnot. So just scenes from the trip. I'm going to go in here and make sure that I put down the dates and the route. Didn't have anything from the trip back. We drove back in one day, so it was kind of just a kind of get it done kind of drive. So this is the sketchbook, the travel journal that lives in the travel van. The brand, it is an Arteza. It's a 5x8. It's watercolor paper so that it can put up with whatever I throw at it. You can see some road trips that didn't quite get finished with their watercolors. But it's just making the memories and remembering, some that didn't get finished. But making the memories and documenting where we take the van. The second journal that I took with me was my journal, and this is made from an old hardback book, an education textbook, and it's a traveler style journal, so that this, albeit very thick, let's find the middle, I'll show you how it works. This very thick signature of pages is in with elastic, and when it's full, I will simply replace it with another signature of pages. I've put in all different pages, everything from ledger paper to thick watercolors, so it's a bit spontaneous as to what I get when I turn the page. So we start here, and I try and pick up paper from everywhere. We've got things from the map and the brochure, stickers from and temporary tattoos from the Run Disney event. I've got a beautiful cheese board that I took a reference photo of from the restaurant Jaleo by Jose Andres. This was their ceiling tile. So a couple things that I need to finish in watercolor or colored pencil. But I also do put in some photos, and these are photo stickers. I have a Canon IVY, and because this was a trip where my travel kit didn't have to be tiny, I did take this, and so it just connects via Bluetooth to your phone, and you can print out little travel stickers. They are this size, and you can, collage them and do a multi-up. So this was 4-up, so that I had little small images of, Peter Pan, It's a Small World, things like that. So I don't have the date on this one, but I do have some thoughts about the day. Next, we've got some larger pictures because Animal Kingdom is so gorgeous and stunning. Little map, graphics from a cup, beautiful flower overlaid over the map. This is what I was saying with these markers that will mark on anything. So even though this map paper was really glossy, I could still get the flower drawn over top of it, and I like the layering and the see-through quality that we get there. So you can see here, I've got Kingdom, and here I have Expedition, referencing Expedition Everest, the roller coaster in Animal Kingdom. So I really like that as really happy with this page, both the fact that I was able to draw some things in and use found objects, but also use some images. So that to me is kind of like the trifecta. The next page, I've got Possible, because of this quote from the Epcot map, The Magic of Possibility. So some shots from topiaries, because it was the flower and garden. I had this pamphlet and forgot to tear anything out of it or to use any of the papers there. So whoops, that was a found object fail. These stickers were all from different countries. There's a kids activity where they can collect postcards and stickers, but if you ask nicely, they'll give stickers to adults as well. So that was the Epcot page. I had a few extra things left over. Beautiful shot from the butterfly garden at Epcot. I mean, that just wants to be its own page, right? So the final day, I don't really think gets a page. It was a short day, and we did go to Galaxy's Edge. We did go to Black Spire Outpost, the Star Wars area, but I didn't collect a map. I didn't collect a lot of ephemera. So, whoops, that was a bit of a travel journal fail. I want to go through and date these and make sure that they're finished, but that gives you a glimpse into my travel journal process. I will say that we were traveling with friends of ours, and the store in Japan in Epcot had amazing paper. While it may be designed with origami in mind, my friend Allison and I bought some paper that we split up so that we would have some of each kind. Beautiful classic origami paper. And then a lot of fun things in this kit from her, including, okay, cats drinking boba, adorable. Sushi origami paper. Yep. And then these amazing like tapestries and fabrics and stuff. So there's a lot of really cool collage fodder here. Oh, that's wild. Wow. And it was really fun to do that together and to share some of those resources. So that's what's on the table next. Today it's all about, I don't know, cleaning the house and doing laundry when you've been away, when you're back after a trip. So I hope that you liked that glimpse into the travel journal. I've got a quote here from Hakuna Matata. Even though we do race weekends, like I go at least once a year, he usually goes more than that. I don't think I have it, not in this journal. I do like to commemorate each one. Everything is different. Every weekend is different, the experiences, and of course the race itself. So thank you for tuning in for this peek into my travel journal. Next week will be in the month of May, I think. What day is it? What is time? And we'll be starting with some new Weekly Spark themed videos like we do. So yeah, if I've missed one, I'll add an extra one in there for you. But for right now, I'll close this and say thank you for tuning in. Please feel free to like, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and come back next week for another episode of Weekly Spark. Take care.